Hello everybody, Mr. Pilgrim here, coming at you with the 6th video in our Platinum Trophy Guide for Lies of P. In the last video we'd gone through the Estella Opera House and fought the King of the Puppets, Romeo. The only thing we couldn't do in that last episode was get the Trinity door found just outside the boss room, but don't worry, we will find it. Now, when you come outside, you'll immediately run into Geppetto, and he will increase your maximum number of pulse cells. How convenient that he's just waiting outside the King of Puppets. Anyways, we're now going to be heading through this little in-between area, as there's nothing super major except for one new weapon that you can find along the way. The rest of the items are just consumables or upgrade materials or things of that nature. So that's why I'm just going to be kind of running through it and then showing you guys where you can find the weapon. Now coming on through, you'll eventually come down to this little area, and then you'll have this tunnel with a ladder to the right. Climbing up here and then following this around, you will find a chest right here, which will have the clock sword blade. Now from here we can just head back down. And then coming into this giant little courtyard. At the very end you will have this door leading into the Lorenzini arcade. As you'll see right here, you have the door that you can open. Now from here, we can just head inside and find our next Stargazer. As you'll see right here, now, like before, in this area, it's actually probably going to be best that you guys use a flame weapon. So if you happen to have your salamander dagger on hand, that will make it a lot easier. And then you can also finally equip the Carcass Butcher amulet that we got from Pulcinella in the last episode. Like always, I'm going to go through and show you guys exactly where to find every key item and where to go and how to progress through the arcade and how to get all of the important items. So starting off here in the Lorenzini arcade, if you come down this main path, if you just run straight, hit the Stargazer, and then keep going straight, you'll eventually hit this dead end with the giant Clement sign, and there will be a key right in front of it. Now from here we're going to run back and then take this left adjacent to the gate. Coming this way, you'll then want to head to the right, and here's where you'll use that key. Now a new corpse enemy will be introduced. They're these weird man-like entities with scorpion stingers coming out of their back. Anyways, coming down here and off to the left, not to the right, instead of heading down the hole first, if you come over here across the little bridge, you'll notice there is going to be a brand new butterfly right here. As you'll see, once that you have taken down this butterfly, that will actually get you your next trophy. But now from here we can continue on and head through most of the area. So coming down here, you'll have to fight another one of those bigger corpse enemies like the one you fought in Malum District. Upon defeating him, you will get a new frame, and then the doorway will finally open up. Following this main path around, you'll still be in this kind of underground area. First things first, you're going to want to head up the stairs here and follow this around, which you'll then be introduced to your next new enemy type, the giant muscular big boy, as you can see right here. They do hit fairly hard, but are kind of slow. Following this path around, we'll finally head into this building right here. Once in this little alleyway, if you turn to the right, you'll get your first shortcut back to the Stargazer, like such. Then from here, right at this fountain, you will find a key to the underground, and you'll also find a new vendor who will sell us our next weapon, the circular electric chainsaw blade, as well as the indomitable amulet. Now from here, we're actually going to open up this shortcut door and head back downstairs. Now I highly recommend having some of these resistance ampules on hand. So coming down here, you're going to use that key we picked up to open up this gate. Then here at the fork, you can go left or go right. I recommend heading right. Like I said, have some of these ampules ready. There are 2 butterflies you can find in this area, but they are very risky with all of the enemies in the area. Now, as you'll see, we do have a safe in this area, which will have another new weapon for us. As you'll see right here, we'll get the Spear of Honor. And then from here we can just head back through, or continue down the path, whatever your choice. And then we'll continue on. Now at the fork, we'll take that left. Just right up here, you'll get a small ambush from the left-hand side, which will alert you to a new shortcut you can unlock right here, back to the Stargazer. As you'll see. Now don't worry, I know the Stargazer is making a new unique color letting us know something, but for now we're just going to ignore it. So if you run back the way you came as if you're going to enter the arcade, you can follow this down. Pretty much heading the way that we just came. Then you're going to head into the right, following this path around. And then coming down here, we'll have our next actual tough enemy to show off and deal with just inside here. Once you are ready, you will then come like so. You'll come to about right here. As you'll see, he will then jump out. As you'll see, he is a very tough enemy, and the status effect that he causes actually makes it to where that your pulse cells heal less. Now, one upside I will say is that you can actually have the corpse enemies help you out. Not that they actually do much, but are a minor distraction. But once you take him down, you'll get the Hunter's Amulet, which is a really good amulet for farming as it increases the amount of ergo obtained from defeated enemies. Pretty cool, I know, right? Now, just past him, we will actually have our next quest item. Like I said, in Rosa Isabella Street, there was a nice old lady who wants us to get her some wine, which you'll find right here.
Venerable lady, looking for some wine? You know, like the wine you've got?
Now, from here, we can just run past these enemies, head on up, and as you'll hear, Vanini is able to talk to us, and we'll finally be on the other side of this gate. So before we leave the arcade, we are going to actually talk to Vanini, and then we're also going to actually head back to Hotel Krat, as well as the Rosa Isabella Street NPC, because why not? Now, once here at Rosa Isabella Street, like I said, we're going to give the old woman her wine. So I'm just going to quickly run past all of these puppets and give her her wine. Then from here we can head back to the actual hotel. Once back at the hotel, you can talk to Sophia, and she will mention the portrait. Now, if you actually talk to her again, she'll bring up the pendant you get from the Romeo boss fight.
If this is you might.
As you'll see, there will be a small cutscene, and your hair will grow long. Now, we're not quite done just yet. As you'll see, I'm going to show off the portrait and why the lying and becoming human matters. Like I said, this is all for a special weapon that you can get in the game, and you do need to get this to get the platinum trophy. But as you'll see, the portrait's nose is starting to grow. Now you can also come and talk to Geppetto, and he will be quite surprised about what's going on. And last thing, of course, while we're here, is we're going to give that coin to Pulcinella.
At the house of... Strike if I will. This you have received.
And he'll give us a half moonstone for our trouble. I don't think he actually adds anything. No, of course not. But now we can finally head back to the arcade and be on our way to the next area, the Grand Exhibition. Now this area is filled with puppets, so electric is best. Once back in the arcade, if you follow this path here, it'll lead us to our next Stargazer. One thing I highly recommend doing is just quickly grabbing this Stargazer and then circling back to anything that you might miss, as there is a shortcut that will make your life a whole lot easier right next to the Stargazer. So once you head back outside, you will be just in front of the Grand Exhibition. Now, if you try and go up to the front, the door is locked, and the only gate you can go through is also locked from the other side. So, coming off here over to the right, we'll follow this around and we'll take a tram car inside. I believe that is the correct terminology. There is a tough puppet found just over here who wields a giant axe. Well, not giant axe, it's more of a handheld axe, but still. Like I said though, it's best just to simply come back and fight him later. That way you don't have to run so far. So once inside, you can activate this and head inside. Then from here, you'll just head to the left, and then you'll activate this ladder here, and there we go. As you'll see, you'll have this stargazer right here. And then if you come over here to the front doors, you'll now be able to open them. This will come in handy a little bit later, so don't worry. Now from here, I'm going to go through, like always, and show you guys the important stuff to grab. So, starting off here in the Grand Exhibition, if you follow this path, it will help you navigate through the area. There are a couple of new puppets found here, and there are a couple of returning ones, so just keep your shoes on hand and be ready to dodge and deal with the puppets. Following this around, as you'll come around here and outside, you'll find another purple butterfly right here, and then if you come down here, you'll have a new access or shortcut just right here, back to the front and back to the original Stargazer. In this area, you'll find another one of those tough puppets that will then drop the strength amulet, as you'll see right here. And then also in the back corner right here, you'll find another chest. Inside is a quartz. Then from here we can actually head back up the ladder. Then from here, as you'll see, we have a new ladder just in front of us. Following this path around and then back inside, we're immediately going to take this ladder just here to our left and find a new NPC. So coming over here, you'll find in this corner,
Please.
Belle.
Wait, it'll be easy.
She'll ask us to take care of the enemies in the area so she can escape and head back to Hotel Krot. Now, I highly recommend talking to her before proceeding through and fighting the boss of the area, because if you don't, then she will end up dead and you can't continue her quest line. You will have to do so in order to get a record. Anyways, coming back up top and following this path around, on the right hand side you'll find this ladder. And right here you'll find a shortcut that you can create. Now continuing on the main path here, you'll follow this around, and down here just on the left you will find another chest kind of tucked underneath. Do be careful of these puppets lying in wait to attack, and then this one will have to break the door for you. From here you can follow this up and around, as you'll see right here. And here we have our next phone call with the King of Riddles.
If your goal is to today's riddle, now, listen, think about this. Whatever it takes.
The answer is egg.
Correct! Look.
Now, he's not going to directly give you the key, but it is just right around the corner, and I will show you how to get the key. Now, inside you'll find a new enemy type, the alchemists. Most of the alchemists are weak to corruption, so the acidic crystal spear or the acid buff is wonders. So, coming down the stairs here, you'll have these two statues. All you want to do is interact with the one on the right twice, and this will lower this podium and will get you your Trinity key. Don't worry, I am going to show you guys where to get that, and it is found in the Estella Opera House. So now we can come up here off to the left, and we'll get our next chest. I'm going to use this as a nice reference point. Alright, from here, if you head up here, there'll be a new enemy type who is pretty easy to stagger if you're using the electric coil stick. Inside you'll find a new Legion plug. Then we can drop back down. Now this next enemy I'm going to recommend just running past real quick so we can grab the shortcut back to the Stargazer, but I will show you guys how to fight him, so don't worry about that. So as you'll see right here, we unlock that major shortcut back to the Stargazer. And just right next to it is also a chest. So now you'll be able to buy Crescent Moonstones from Paulandina infinitely. And now we can make our way and fight this big boy. Do be careful, as you'll see, he does have quite a few hard-hitting attacks. It's best just to bait him into doing these attacks, of course. Do note you can also break the container on his back. But once he goes down, you'll get another Legion caliber. And then from here, like always, going to summon a Spectre to help us with the boss. Alright, now once you guys are ready to take on the boss, like I said, you're going to probably want to switch to a acidic crystal spear or whatever weapon is most comfortable for you.
This is where evolution becomes real. Hear me. I am Victor, the champion. Light to the followers of the truth.
So now we have Victor the champion. As you'll see, he is very weak to corruption. And luckily, he isn't a two-phase boss, but once you get him to half health, he will then switch to phase 2. As you'll see now, he'll become more aggressive and have more attack combos. Now, another new thing that gets introduced with Victor, and for some subsequent bosses after Victor, is the attack of catching you off guard whenever you stagger him. Let's see if I can show it off. So as you'll see right here, I've staggered him, but I can't do a critical attack just yet, and he'll have a kind of fake out and will go for an attack. Normally after this happens, if you don't get hit by it, you can then go for a punish. Eventually he also has this dash attack that he does multiple times.
Why be humble? I am evolved. A better man.
I'm surprised you
Now
defeated
we'll meet
Pop.
Simon
I've
Manus,
known
the
you
true
cats
bad guy of the
introducing.
game.
What do you say?
Now, whenever you are asked with the question, you'll want to lie and say hope of a cure, as we know through lore and proof that it's not actually a cure. He's creating monsters,
Keep your check.
but he'll give us a key. So from here I'm going to show you exactly where to use that key and what it unlocks for us. So if we backtrack all the way to where we fought the muscular guy, as you will eventually see, just over here, you have this door that I conveniently didn't point out or talk about. But you can use that key inside. Immediately entering, you'll get the respect gesture. And you'll have a stargazer that will actually become permanent even when you go into New Game Plus. You can always warp back here whenever. So what the Saintess of Mercy statue does is it allows you to respec everything. So if you are wanting to try a new build based on a certain stat, so strength, dex, or the advanced, then you can do so. Now before we are done, we're actually going to go back to the Victor boss fight room, so I'll see you there. From here we're going to head to the next area, and along the way we're going to get a new record. Now I highly recommend having some gold coin fruit when doing this.
Alchemists. According to the guide, Vanini visited that
So
place.
following this around and heading
Something,
outside,
I guess.
we'll run into two familiar characters who we've been seeing, as you'll see right here. The Red Fox and Black Cat. They will simply ask us to give them some gold coin fruit, and you want to be charitable and do so. This will get you the beg gesture and the quixotic record. Now from here you're going to enter the tram car and head to the barren swamp. Now, once you were here at the swamp, we're just going to grab the first stargazer. So coming inside here is where it is. Now, like I said, I'm also going to be showing you guys where you can get and use that Trinity key to get some new things. So if we head all the way back to the Opera House stage, I will show you where to go. We fought Romeo. If we backtrack, you will eventually find that the door is just right in front of us down below. As you'll see right there. Then from here, like always, there will be a safe for us, with some quartz and a new converter. Now we're actually going to head back to Hotel Krat. Now, once back at Hotel Krat, as you'll see, Belle has safely made it.
I'm afraid I didn't mean. I don't think.
Now, for right now, there's not much we can do on her questline, so for the moment, just put it on the back burner. Now from here, you're going to want to give the new supply box to Paulandina.
No matter what fake serving
He will then ask us to find a cure for Lady Antonia. So what you're going to want to do is simply come and talk to Giangio. Now while we're already here, we might as well stop and pick up any more gold coin fruit. Then from here you're going to talk to him, and he will ask him if he can make us a cure, in which you'll want to give him the gold coin fruit. And that will give us the cure for Lady Antonia.
The cure isn't exactly stable.
So from here we're going to want to immediately return to Paulandina and give him the cure and tell him to use it specifically. So don't just skip through this dialogue, as it might accidentally put the wrong one. As you'll see, you'll want to say, use the cure.
Thank you. I will. No matter what serving. Welcome.
Now, as you'll see, we can infinitely buy Crescent Moonstones. Now, while we're also here, he does sell another quartz and another Legion magazine. I don't think that there's any new dialogue for Lady Antonia. No, okay. Like I've said before, whenever you are exchanging weapons with Alidoro, make sure you're actually getting the weapon itself.
At the house of...
I just, in a way.
Now, coming back and talking to Vanini, I'll add the... No, I'll keep the flame grindstone. But from here, you can actually now craft another Legion arm. We're almost done. But as you can see, we now have 4 Legion calibers, and we can now fully upgrade our main Legion arm we're using, the Puppet String. Like I said, if this isn't the one you want to use, another one I recommend is actually the Aegis one. It is pretty good. Now, we're not quite done with this episode just yet. From here, you're going to want to come and find Eugenie, and she will give us a 4-fingered glove that we're going to give to Alidoro. But that is officially going to do it for this video of our Lies of P Platinum Trophy Guide. Hopefully this video was helpful or informative in any way, shape, or form to you guys. I do try to keep these on the shorter end and try and only include important stuff that I think is absolutely necessary for you guys to make it easier for you to navigate through areas and to show you where to grab things. If you have to pause the videos, I highly recommend that, just so you can retain the information for each area. That way it's not too much at one point in time. But as always, I will see you all in the next episode. As always, this has been Mr. Pilgrim,